Do you remember when you were a kid and people were saying that you were the future? It's been said over and over and in many different ways, because for reasons that we are able to see clearly now, the world in that moment seemed like it could be better. Today, those kids are all grown up. We are the future and we are reimagining a better world. In the face of everything going on across the planet, we still love, hope, create, and have fun, because these are all the things we want for the future. But why wait until tomorrow? The future is now. Welcome to the Reimagine Spokane podcast called The Future is Now. We're at the Spectrum Center Spokane headquarters here in Rainbow City, Plant City, here on Monroe with the Director of Advocacy, KJ January. Thank you for being here.
Glad to be here. Really grateful to be here. I'm always down to partner with Reimagine Spokane and, of course, you, Ryan.
Don't forget Asians for Collective Liberation.
We partner with Asians for Collective Liberation for everything.
We're just partners in crime.
In good trouble, as John Lewis says. Get out the vote. Thank you.
Let's do that. KJ. We're talking about voting and we're doing that all the time. And this work is more than just voting, and it's a little bit of everything. But before we jump into what that work is, could you tell us how you got into this work?
I had the benefit of growing up here in Spokane on the east side back in the 90s, back when the historically black neighborhood was historically being black, and it was great. It thrived, and you could see that mindset was a shared collective effort. I was a child, so of course I had rose-colored glasses.
That'd be cool.
I mean, I figured that out eventually. But honestly, back then it appeared as though like every child was everyone's child. So I've always felt safe in their presence. This was back when unity in the community and Juneteenth were celebrated at Liberty Park. I watched my parents take part in community events and attended planning meetings for future events at the East Central Community Center, the Martin Luther King Center, as well as churches down there. Back then, folks organized within their network and by word of mouth. So ideas and programs were birthed and roles were filled by volunteers with the truly like see a need, fill a need kind of mindset. It was really organizing at its most basic level. And like, personally, I felt it because one time my house caught on fire. And
what?
Yeah. And so we were couch surfing and staying in random hotels, but the community like came together and we had a meal train from people we had never met before who attended different churches, who attended like different events that went on at the community center, but they saw a need and they filled it. And so just seeing how strong a community together is, a community with a collective force is really, I don't know, it's just a natural way of being. And I've seen that we've gotten away from that. And so in so many ways, I've seen, you just look around Spokane, you see our neighbors struggling in all types of ways. And so how could you not step up and see a need, fill a need?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a lot, but
no, that was great.
I'm passionate about my community.
Yeah,
so.
It sounds like you've been doing it since day one.
Kinda.
Okay, not maybe day two.
Different ways, yeah.
And there's no doubt that we know that all of this has to do with politics and how our world is run, and the laws are created to keep us in struggle mode. What does it mean for you to be political or civically engaged?
Politics is everything. From your kids' school lunches, from the pothole out front of your house, the books in your library, like the trees on your street. Everything is political. So when people say they're not into politics or don't do politics, it's not true. The things you're angry about out there, use your voice and say something. Because things weren't as a person of color, as a feminine presenting person, as, you know, all these name the marginalized groups. Things weren't given to us. We fought for it. We came together and we spoke up and we got these liberties. We got the right to vote. We were allowed to drink from the same water fountain. We were allowed to get married. Like these things we fought for. They weren't given to us. And so everything is politics. And just like we earned and fought for them, we have to continue to fight for them, because there's a lot of people who don't believe in the rights that we have, in the ways of being that we are in, and just being neighbors. Like, so it's everything. It's life as we know it. So, yeah.
Yeah, so you're saying everything is political, and when you think of politics, where does that start? With our elected officials. And so we have this election coming up. It's pretty big. It's a big one. It's a presidential one. But we know that every election is an important election. But for this one, the 2024 election, what is at stake?
Everything. Everything as we know it. If you've seen Project 2025 and or was it Project 47, the one, or 74? Whatever. They're all trying to take us back to a make America great again mindset. For whom? Like, for whom? So everything is at stake. Potentially sweeping federal restrictions placed on gender affirming care or bodily autonomy in all avenues of it. Trans and gender nonconforming participation in sports, mass deportations of undocumented individuals and families.
It is everything. I mean, it sounds like we're this project, whatever number it is, they're trying to take it back to just a cis heteronormative,
basically, and
white country, which it never was in the first place.
Preach. 100%. They're also hitting the schools, and they're finding different ways to incarcerate and enslave people. And like you said, I think at the beginning, with keeping us working, keeping us busy, like we're not able to stay focused and see what people are basically doing right in front of our faces, to be honest. They're playing in our faces. And
it is so public.
It's so public. And the cognitive dissonance is what?
Did you see the people wearing diapers?
I have not.
And the ear pillows?
Oh, I've seen the ear pillows. But the diapers?
Maybe it was a dream.
I hope so. Because, like, I need people to be so pro-America, like us as a collective, as a group, and not pro-party.
And it's like pro-people and pro-planet.
Yes. Yes. But we're so polarized. And I don't know why, because honestly, it's at their own demise, ultimately. Because if it's going to affect one of us, it's going to affect all of us. Mm-hmm. And it's sad to see. So anyways, we have to get people elected. We have to get the right people in office, and that starts locally. That means filling every bubble in on, well, not every bubble in, but every category in on the ballot. That means voting for your school board people, your commissioners, your fire department chiefs, like everybody down the ballot.
Not just the president.
Not just the president. You have to show up for everybody, because especially those people local, they dictate how your city is run. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, the president can say a lot, but when it comes down to it, a lot of the power and how the city moves is with the people here locally making things happen or not making things happen. That means your school lunches. That means the education your child gets. That means, like I said, the potholes. Spokane, the potholes. Potholes. So yeah, like vote. Vote all the way down the ballot.
Thanks for that. Oh my God. Okay, sorry.
I feel like I'm hitting points.
You are hitting points.
I did not write as much as I wanted to, so I'm really winging it. Love it.
No, that is, we need to keep hearing that every part of the ballot is important. Like, they don't just put it on there for no reason. And I think, the president is the most publicized because they're supposedly the person that's running the entire country, but that only goes so far, especially with local politics. It doesn't even touch what we do here.
You see what they're doing in Idaho, our neighbors right across the border. Like, the presidential legislation only affects Idaho so much. It's we still are feeling the effects of their legislation now. But yeah, we're having an influx of people moving here from states who aren't affirming them, or like medically or with their name or just their way of life. And so we are here trying to find resources for them so they can move into like Spokane. We are the largest city from Seattle to Minneapolis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are a hub, and that's coming from Idaho, Montana, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So the president is cool and has a lot of legislation that they can throw our way, but it doesn't mean that your life is going to be dramatically affected by what they feel. So checks and balances.
Yeah, and so you're talking a little bit about what your organization does and why you're needed.
Yes.
Why don't you keep talking about that?
All right. So Spectrum, what do we do? When I table, my pitch is usually, we are Spectrum Center Spokane. We advocate, educate, and care for our community. And with that, I mean, we try to focus on whole person care. We work to educate our community so people know how to identify their biases, whether they know that they have them or not. They know how to address their own, and they know how to identify when somebody is using them or navigating this world in a harmful way. We have trainings that we provide to organizations, businesses, and people, so you should holler. We advocate. That's my department. And we try to empower folks to speak their piece, and let the powers that be know what's like their opinions. We also work to educate folks on what's going on, because again, the system keeps us so busy that we don't have time to pay attention to what's going on in every legislative committee that dictate our lives. So that's what Spectrum is. We are also working on developing some programs. You guys keep an eye out for those, like our self-defense program and also like our educational program. Those will be rolling out here pretty soon. Super excited. And then we have our community care department, and that's for those who are who are being affected a lot by the system. We have amazing CHWs that assist with healthcare navigation, insurance signups, name changes, accessing affirming items, finding affirming medical providers like primary care and behavioral health. And we do COVID care, which includes rental assistance for COVID positive folks, so folks can stay home and recover. We also host support groups for queer youth, parents of queer youth, and BIPOC queers. We have behavioral health microgrants to help remove barriers to therapy. We do clothing swaps, vaccine clinics, HIV testing. Hold on. And we, in the future, we just had one of our CHWs complete a doula training. And so that's going to be really cool once they get that program rolling out. We will be introducing game night starting on the 22nd. And that's just a place to kick it and play some board games and whatnot here at the center. So that's some of the things, if not most of the things that we do here.
That's a lot.
Yeah, we do things.
And so these are all things that our current system is not providing.
Yeah, these are the gaps that we try to fill in people's lives, be it like they financially can't get there. They're being
like all these things are free.
Yes. All of these are free. You just sign up. We try to be no barrier. You don't have to pimp your trauma. Like, you don't have to re-traumatize yourself by telling us why you deserve something. We take your word for it. And especially because queerness is so personal, we really we try to cater programs to each individual, because we all have different needs. We're all carrying different baggage. We're all coming from different cultures. So yeah, we just try to assist where people fall through the cracks.
Yeah, and really meet people where they're at.
Exactly. And we also, and with doing that, we love to lean in and partner with with other organizations like Latinos in Spokane and Asians for Collective Liberation, to make sure nobody, like, there's a complete support system, and all their needs will, if not most, we try to get most of their needs satisfied, and to get them to a place of safety and security. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, KJ and Spectrum Center Spokane. And thank you for being such an amazing partner to us and other folks in the community.
Yeah.
One of the things you were mentioning earlier was about how people can't be at all the legislative meetings. And I don't feel like every single person should have to. It's just such a high barrier and very mundane.
It's terrible. That's honestly, I don't know if this is where you were going with this, but I'm gonna go on a rant. I want to create like a rapid response team to be like, yo, this is like city council's discussing this, posse up, you know? However, like, sometimes your thing doesn't even get to be talked about. And so, like, to waste people's times who possibly have childcare, who can't eat dinner because you're kicking it there from 5 to 11, because sometimes they extend the meetings. Like, I'm not trying to time is precious. It's honestly the only resource we really have to ourselves. Not really, but you know what I'm saying? And so to take that, and get no response, or to get no like direct, I don't know, encouragement of anything,
Or support or action.
It's discouraging. It's really discouraging, because
Yeah.
you feel like you're putting yourself out there. You're trying to be a part of the system. You want to make change, and you want to be helpful to these legislators who don't know what they don't know.
And these legislators being the elected officials on like the city council
Exactly.
or at the
School
state
board
level,
meetings,
school board.
environmental
These
boards,
are all
like,
people that we vote for.
all of them.
That are either putting up barriers or not, or supporting what we're trying to do. It's just really challenging at times.
It's very challenging.
And to keep every single person on their toes is like, it's just a lot to ask. And so I think that's what's important for like your organization and ours and others that are really into legislative advocacy, to be those kind of conduits of like, you know, people can be a part of it.
100%.
But we will do that for you, and we just want y'all to step up and like be not on call, but like when we have an action item for you to support this, because we're doing that hard labor.
We're keeping an eye on what they're doing and trying to get the word out, because you wouldn't know otherwise. And so it's a call to action. It's a call that saves us all, supports us all, hopefully. And so, like I said, they don't know what they don't know. And so your voice is so valuable and necessary and needed in these spaces. Because regardless of if these legislators are good intentioned or not, they're going to make mistakes. They're not going to see the whole picture a lot of times.
Especially if they aren't people like us, people of color, queer people.
Exactly.
There's immigrants. Just a lot of, look at the people on most of our elected seats. They're what the system has started off as and is so, trying to continue to be, but we're trying to change that too.
Exactly, because we're here too. We're their neighbors. We're a part of this community too. We want to help our community grow and get better too with us. We're better together.
Exactly.
So show up and show out.
Do that. So can you tell us what are some wins that your organization is proud of?
We got through tabling season. Let's start there, because I'm exhausted.
That's tough. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was heavy on the advocacy department this year. So I was out there. I was a big part of it. But being able to offer support and services to our neighbors, both in Spokane and Idaho. This was our first time in Coeur d'Alene, our second time in Sandpoint. We're also supporting Rexburg Pride this year.
Where's that?
Idaho.
Oh.
Yeah. They're cute.
Rexburg.
Yeah. We did some educational trainings with them. And so, yeah, we're trying to help support them. It's really cute. And very very proud and very courageous of them also. And there's that.
And you do you have a whole training program.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. How many schools or business corporations or who
Oh, I
who
don't
are you
have.
training?
Oh, let's see. I don't have all those numbers yet.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
I know I was in at least one or two of them. So there's
Vanessa.
at least that.
Yeah, Vanessa is our director of learning and liberation, and she does amazing work. She's busy. She's formerly worked at Eastern, and she really got the ball and like ran with it, and made this program her own. So it's we've grown a lot, and we've got our name out there. Sorry, I don't have names of people that we've talked to, but we out here doing stuff. Gap has assisted over 300 applicants this year so far.
Nice.
Yeah. We're being more active in community, which is really cool. We've had our Queer Joy Swim Day. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a hit. I wasn't there, but it was a hit. And we are going to try to do more of those. Our upcoming Out in the Park event is on September 19th. Be there or be square. Anyways, it's also a pickleball tournament, but there'll be tabling. ACL's tabling there. And if you didn't know,
I knew that one.
And there's also a maker's market. So if you're selling anything or have anything you want to, we'll sell, holler, and we can get you a spot in the park. It's at Mission Park. That was rough. Sorry. It's at Mission Park. There's that. We recently contracted with Inland Imaging and are developing curriculum for medical providers. We're focusing on providing education and resources to medical providers to improve experiences and access for especially queer patients, because usually because we're not very affirmed and discouraged and belittled in these environments, we usually put our issues off until it's an emergency, and we visit their urgent care. And so we're trying to remove at least one of those barriers so that we feel more comfortable in those environments, and we can get the help we need so it's not a life-threatening issue. But that's much like other marginalized communities as well. So we've got work to do.
But that's awesome. That's a big win.
Yeah, so that's cool. And then we've also started working with our youth advocacy board to lessen. That's not the word I want to use. Sorry. Yep, whatever. To decrease the amount of youth houselessness in Spokane. And so Pink is amazing, and we're getting them out there to connect with different housing opportunities and our housing organizations, as well as involved with schools, to create really like a coalition of youth to advocate for what their needs are and what some great ideas are to help these youngsters who are out on the streets by themselves. And
is that primarily like queer kids?
Yes, I was just about to say that.
Okay.
A lot of the people, a part of YAB and a part of the houseless community, a lot of them are queer, as they've been either like kicked out of their homes or just don't feel comfortable or safe in their homes or what have you. Also, just we're normally a lower socioeconomic group of people, unfortunately, due to the system. And so being there, advocating for the community, and we can really, prevent, hopefully, and lay down some safeguards before things get real bad. And so Pink is dope. If you know of any houseless youth, please reach out to us, because this is also, to be on the board, you're also paid for your thoughts and insights, and we help facilitate you to get to Olympia to advocate for yourselves there, as well as advocating for yourselves here locally and school boards, again, or to city council or what have you. So those are some recent wins. Other than that, just we're still here.
Yeah.
System hasn't taken us out
Yeah.
yet, so
We're still getting grant funding and we still got jobs.
we still got jobs, and so as long as we're here, yeah, holler, please keep an eye on our Instagram.
So our next question, that's kind of a build off of what your wins are like. What does healing look like for your community?
For Spokane, healing looks like empathy for your neighbors. Empathy in that, like, there's no oppression Olympics. Just seeing them as your neighbor, regardless of them being like different race, religion, ability level, queer, immigrant, housed or unhoused. Understanding that the system bears down on everyone in different ways. And again, if we come together and work towards collective liberation, we will all have what we need and some of what we want. Probably a lot of what we want. So that's what healing looks like for Spokane.
And I think just building again off of some of those wins, that just sounds super exciting and fun. How do you in your community celebrate and bring joy?
Ooh. Okay, so I find my people. And fortunately, like with the hobbies or my intersectionalities, my people can vary, and I can lean into these aspects of myself that make me whole in different ways, and it's really healing. Again, being Black, femme presenting, queer, athletic, what have you. I don't know. Just being around people who understand me without words needing to be exchanged is what healing is, and that means your chosen family, your even your coworkers at times.
At times.
Finding your people and leaning into that, and so yeah, being a part of community.
That was great. I mean, it's being in Spokane and growing up here too, that community has probably changed in so many ways, and now you're like building that community. That's super exciting.
Exactly. I'm trying to create the Spokane, like, I feel like I didn't get, especially in my like teenage years when I was really trying to figure out who I was and what I was doing. I just want to create an environment to where people can be curious and figure out. And we're always evolving and always changing. And much like Spokane, right now I do feel like we are at. I feel like I've been saying this for a few years, but we're at a crossroads. We're at the brink of becoming an even bigger city with more entertainment, more different cultures, different able-bodied, different all types of people, like different socioeconomic status, like all different types of people. And so we have an opportunity to really make something great, or we have the opportunity to really just stay 15 years behind, and that's being generous. And I don't know, we have so much potential. I really just don't want us to drop the ball. And so
so take us to that next question about what you reimagine for Spokane. Take us there, KJ.
Oh my goodness. All types of cultural events without people feeling excluded or beefing about it, like just empowering and supporting those groups of people.
Like letting all of it exist.
Yeah.
Like there should be space for everyone.
Thank you.
As long as we're not harming other people.
Emphasis on that. Yeah. Let it ride. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. And I'm not just saying mind your business, but like low key, mind your business and let people enjoy life. Times are hard, like I said, for everybody. And so if you can allow people to find their little joys, and also allow people to take chances. I want Spokane to take chances in thinking outside the box for what Spokane can provide us, and what we could do. We used to have the wonderful slogan of near nature, near perfect, and I loved it. And I also want to get back to that, where we're incorporating nature and our environment into our events and who we are, because at the end of the day, we all tie back to the earth. And so,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't know why I went on that tangent, but
It makes sense. Like, if you're going to have a slogan like that, don't have a system that doesn't have sustainable or renewable energy. Don't have, like, lack of public transportation.
ooh, let's have a walkable city. Let's
Walkable
actually
city.
get some kind of nightlife and some culture and some safeguards out there so that we can have fun and safely. And then,
And there's so many things that we can do that connect us back to nature, that bring us closer together as people and heal the planet
Yes.
and, like, just change systems. Like, we've become so disconnected from nature
and thus disconnected from each other
Yeah.
as well through that.
Exactly.
So it's just, we need to go back to that. And like our slogan now is, where Spokane we all belong, where you're looking at me like you have no idea.
I thought it was still near nature, near perfect.
No.
I didn't know we were making up new slogans when, did we get perfect nature?
I didn't know we accomplished.
I don't
that
remember
goal.
doing that.
No, we pivoted.
We pivoted. We're like, forget nature. We're all here. We belong.
Which is also a very it was pitched as an aspirational quote. And so
It is. And what does it mean if we all really belong? Like, is that, I just don't see that sometimes.
I don't see it when, you can go to jail for being in the park after dark. Like, it's just, I don't know, stuff like that. Like, do we all belong? Where are we going? Like, it's just,
Who's the we is the question.
ooh, yeah.
And if we do really all belong in Spokane, what does that look like, KJ?
Unity.
Just trying to go off of that
safety,
question.
security, and environmental things and such.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Do you have anything else to bring to this reimagining of Spokane and to get other people psyched for, like, just being involved and aware that there's people and organizations like us that are doing this already?
Like, yes, we do sound like probably political nerds right now because we are very passionate, but we really are normal people, and you're necessary in the movement. Everybody has a role in the movement. You don't all have to be rocking out and going on tangents like we do. Like, somebody has to bring the potato salad. You know what I'm saying? And so even if you feel like you don't have a space here, you have a space here in this movement. As long as you care about us and collective liberation and your neighbors, or like the different aspects of your family, like, or even the future you're trying to get to, as long as you care, just show up. Like, that's what it takes. It just takes showing up and consistency. We can work with the rest. Like, trust you. We are organizers. We can work with it. But just show up. And we'll have snacks.
That's the best part of all of this is the snacks, let's be honest. And also the vibes. It's always really fun with us.
Really fun.
Like,
Really
if
fun.
you're missing fun in your life, come hang out with me and KJ.
You gotta have a sense of humor
And
to
if-
do this stuff.
yeah.
So it's a good time.
Exactly. And so when people want to show up, where or how can they do that? How can they get involved?
Please hit us up either on our socials on Facebook or Instagram at Spectrum Center Spokane, or visit us at our website, spectrumcenterspokane.org, where it has all the things like I talked about on this podcast and different ways you can connect with us. Oh, I forgot. Also, one last thing.
Go for it.
We also I host a Black Queer Healing Space, which is really it's just a really dope healing space. Show up. We do arts and crafts. We eat and we kick it, and we talk about good things, bad things. We talk about growth, all the things. Just a cool vibe session.
When and where?
Monthly. And that is also, you can find those deets on our website. And also we have a Facebook page called Black Queer Healing Space. So, yeah. Also, be sure to subscribe to our newsletter and sign up on our volunteer list. So you'll get all the deets there.
So many ways to get involved and be a part of this change that we're all trying to help create for ourselves and each other in our future. Thank you so much, KJ, Director of Advocacy at Spectrum Center Spokane, here in the HQ in our Rainbow Room. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Empire Health Community Action Fund, our producer, Form Studio, our music producers, Ryan and Kyle, and to our listeners and voters for helping to create a future that we can have now. Thank you for listening to The Future Is Now. Currently, Reimagine Spokane is a program of Asians for Collective Liberation in Spokane. It was the brainchild of Executive Director Ryan Louie as the feeling and energy that we intend to belong and be accessible to everyone so that they can join us and others in creating a new Spokane. For more info, check out our website at reimaginespokane.us and find us on social media at Reimagine Spokane.